When was the last time somebody bought something from you because they downloaded your freebie? Not talking about that they opened it or that they replied to it, but specifically that they bought. If you had to stop and think about that, then your lead magnet is most definitely not converting. And the reason is almost never the one that you've been told. Here's what usually happens next. You decide that the PDF is the problem, right? It's too long, too plain, the wrong format, all of those things. So you open Canva, redesign it, maybe for the third time, and we're going to stop there because a lead magnet that isn't converting is almost never a design problem. It's most definitely an alignment problem. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 lead magnets I would not build, which each one of those actually is costing you, and the 5 I would build instead, taken from 5 completely different businesses. So before we get into all of that, I'm not a big fan of just believing anybody you see on the internet. So let's go through whose opinion this actually is. I'm Rachel. I run an email marketing studio for coaches, consultants, course creators who want their list to be more than just a newsletter. And we do all of this not by launching louder or more consistently, definitely not by living chronically online, but by building a system that keeps working on the days that you log off at 4 and don't open your laptop again until the next morning. On average, my clients are converting 10 to 15 to 20% on lists that people would typically call too small. So this video is for you if you already have a lead magnet and it's definitely not pulling its weight. If you haven't built one yet, that's even better. I would rather save you the time on building it wrong and having to fix it later. So we're going to be breaking down 3 things. So what a lead magnet is actually for, the 5 I would stop building, and then what to build instead. So let's dive into what a lead magnet actually is. A lead magnet is a free, valuable resource that you offer in exchange for somebody's email. A checklist, a template, a short guide, a mini training. That's typically the textbook definition, and most of the time, that's where the advice stops. A lead magnet's first job isn't necessarily always to deliver value. It's to decide who is going to walk through your front door and join your email list. Before it teaches anyone anything, it needs to filter. It decides the kind of person that we want to join your list and determines whether that list will ever become profitable. This is what I say when we're designing an email list that converts. A great lead magnet doesn't attract the most people. It attracts the right people, the ones who are already leaning towards the outcome that you sell, which is why a lead magnet that is judged by the amount of times that it is downloaded is a vanity metric altogether. If yours was built for that number, that's not on you. Every single piece of advice out there is guiding people to this. Build the freebie, give the 20 plus ideas, and put them into your email list. Nobody is handing you the nuance that comes with creating an email list that is designed to convert. And why that doesn't work is that it breaks the day you have to sell anything. We've all had that experience where we send something to our email list and crickets happen. So up until then, you feel like your email list is growing and it feels like progress. But when you mention your offer, your product, or any type of paid action, that's when the crickets come. And you find out that the people that you really did bring into your email list are more like browsers, freebie seekers. They want that free thing, they want that education compared to buyers who want the outcome. So the duality of a lead magnet is that the same opt-in can attract 2 completely different humans at various points in their buying experience. So let's get into the 5 that I would not build and what each one of these is actually costing you. Number 1 is that extra long 47-page ebook. Nobody finishes it. It ends up in that download graveyard and we just need to say goodbye to it. And the cost isn't maybe the month or so that it took you to build it, write those emails, and then launch it. It's the checkbox and the process that goes into when you send to these people and you get nothing in return. Number two is that super generic 5 tip PDF that essentially somebody can generate through chat or Claude, and it doesn't give them the value prop that you bring to the table. And honestly, these are like filler lead magnets. They don't filter anyone. Anyone has a mild curiosity in this particular topic could opt in. So your list is growing. Your open rates, maybe people are opening, but it's not a single person that is going to be standing anywhere near a decision to buy from you. Number three is one of my personal favorites because I see this everywhere. The join my newsletter form. It's definitely not a freebie. It's good to have. However, it is one of those things where I do recommend to my clients that if you are allowing people onto your email list, we want to have some point of segmentation to understand what are they about? What are they looking for? This essentially is just a data capture. It's not a lead magnet in any sort. You may end up being someone's favorite newsletter every single week. However, that will not lead to consistent conversions. And then number four is that beautiful giant resource vault that became all the rage a year or so ago, where those 40 templates that go into it, what it's actually doing for you is attracting those freebie hunters. You're building a list of browsers, not buyers. I have always said, and I stand by this, the trash in, trash out theory when it comes to your email list is prevalent when you are not intentional with how you're building your lead magnet. And not saying that those lovely people are trash, just saying they are not your leads. And number five is that freebie that has absolutely nothing to do with what you sell. It fills your list with browsers and not buyers. And ultimately, that bridge to get them to a purchase is so vague that essentially you're bringing in the wrong people. If you are selling done for you email systems and your freebie is 30 social media posts idea, you have filled your email list with people who have a social problem, maybe not an email problem. Now, in fairness, every single one of those has a real good use. I'm not saying to throw that work away. That 47-page ebook is a genuine authority asset. Ungate it, break it into blog posts, let it rank, become discoverable, hand it over as a bonus after somebody buys. That 5 tip PDF is a perfectly good social carousel where the job is reach, not necessarily filtering. Join my newsletter works completely fine as long as the newsletter is the product. The vault is one of the best retention gifts you can give to a client that's already paid you. And that unrelated freebie often is not necessarily unrelated to you. It's unrelated to this particular offer, which means it belongs in a different funnel entirely. None of these are bad assets to have in your business or in your marketing. They're just bad front doors. And when we are creating an email list that is designed to convert, the job and the purpose is the main goal. So, what does an aligned lead magnet actually look like? Here are 5 from very different businesses that we can break down. And I want you to watch the pattern more than watching the format. Let's say I'm a dietitian and I niched into busy work from home moms who have gut issues. My lead magnet could be a 5-day bloat free grocery list for busy work from home moms. Let's say I was a fertility specialist. Fertility specialists are usually working through a handful of complex symptoms, complex experiences. I would recommend a quiz and say, maybe which one of these 4 fertility blocks is yours, and have them kind of self-identify versus you having to identify a super complex pain point from the get. Let's say I was a launch specialist for first-time launchers. I'm going to be creating a launch week command center in a Notion template. What this does is help people see how the inside of your brain works before they even take action to work with you. This is key. Let's say I was a social media agency and I was working with influencers. I could do a 60-second profile audit and have a scorecard that helps people self-assess and self-rank. One of my favorites is because this is a question a lot of my bookkeeper friends get is how much do I set aside? you can create a set aside calculator and allow those people to get past that problem aware stage and more into the solution aware before they hire you. Now, the thing that I wanted you to notice here is that every single one of these names a specific pain point and it picks the fastest format to solve it and hands it over in one win. The most important step is that it makes the paid offer the most obvious next step. So here's the rule I would put on a sticky note. If I was a business owner that had a lead magnet that wasn't quite converting, I would say, when you are building your lead magnet, build it backwards from your offer. And if you at any point are looking for a point of clarity, always go back to how does this build towards my offer? So, to summarize, a lead magnet that isn't converting is almost always an alignment problem, not a design problem. So step away from Canva because the 5 lead magnets you should stop building all point away from a decision that is specific to your buyer's journey. The aligned versions point straight at one and give your email list an actual purpose. So here's your next step. And no, it's not to rebuild anything. I want you to read your current lead magnet title out loud and ask whether it names a buyer with a specific problem or whether it appeals to anyone that's mildly interested. That honest answer there will tell you which problem you're kind of leaning towards. And if you want the full framework for how to build it backwards and grow an email list that is designed to convert, that is my Align Leads formula. It is the framework that has helped my clients get 10 to 15% conversion rates on their inbound lead. And the best part is that you can be done with this training in a Saturday morning and creating your Align Lead Magnet by Monday. But before you go, I want to know, tell me which one of these 5s have you built? Because we're all guilty of them. I've done the guide and I've done the vault, but they didn't do anything for my business.